Hello everyone, this is Juan Bloisi here with Washington Interpreters, and in this video, I'll show you why so many interpreters are being blocked from clinics, the most recent L&I announcements, and how some of these changes can potentially affect our working conditions. So please watch this entire video and share it with all interpreters that you know. Because everyone deserves to know the truth behind the incident resolution process blocks and the upcoming L&I changes. Now let's get started. And as always, please remember to pause this video at any time to read the information you see on the screen. What you see on the screen is an email from L&I to interpreters on April 21st last month, announcing that they're officially seeking a new vendor to provide interpreting services. After so much disappointment with SOCI due to poor platform performance and its ICE contracts, the vast majority of L&I interpreters are eager for a new company with a better scheduling system. I have been following the process closely and have already observed potential for positive changes in the upcoming, which I will address in another video. Also, L&I announced an update to the preferred interpreter policy on April 17th, indicating that SIMP, or pain management programs, will no longer be able to choose a preferred interpreter for such programs starting on July 1st this year. However, preferred interpreters will still be allowed for mental health appointments, crime victims, and brain injury rehab programs. So, in theory, those long hours from pain management programs should be open for everyone with this change. However, it won't end the appointment monopolies favoring certain interpreters aided by medical providers. Because this is happening now with work conditioning and work hardening appointments, medical facilities, they'll simply broadcast pain management appointments to everyone, but will cancel them until their preferred interpreters accept them. These providers will also block anybody they don't like from their clinics to favor their friends. Which keeps me to the main reason why many interpreters keep getting blocked from clinics without any reason or justification. Now, what you see on the screen is the contract that L&I signed with the SOCI company back in February 2024, 2 years ago. Remember the timeline? Now let's continue. Under the LAP Quality Assurance section, L&I requires the contractor to develop and implement an LAP disciplinary process in which the severity level is determined by the nature of the incident or incidents. So they wanted SOCI to develop the incident resolution process in essence. But look at this, L&I also indicated to SOCI that the disciplinary process may be subject to collective bargaining. This means the WFC union would have to be involved in negotiating it. Further down the contract, let's take a look at some of the requirements laid out by L&I for SOCI. It says here that the contractor must have a process in place for tracking LAP credentials. And here it is. Look at this. Not allowing LAPs to accept assignments at a specific location at the request of the requester. Suspending LAPs in the scheduling system during an investigation and deactivating LAPs during an investigation. There you have it. None of this here requires SOCI to ask providers for a valid reason or evidence of any wrongdoing from interpreters. Now, fast forward to this email from the WFC Union to interpreters on July 31st, 2024, where they basically expose themselves, as they always do. Here they're telling you that their L&I bargaining team was supposedly working on securing quote-unquote the best contract possible since mid-April. They also indicate here that the L&I bargaining team met with L&I regarding the IRP or incident resolution process and with SOCI prior to their platform going live. That was in April 2024, and the WFC Union didn't negotiate any changes to protect interpreters from being unfairly blocked. Because, as you know, and as you can see here, L&I rolled out their IRP also in April 2024, right after meeting with WFC. and they coerced interpreters to agree to this policy as a condition to contract with SOC. But here's the change L&I made. They are letting you know that the IRP isn't subject to the CBA grievance process, meaning that the WFC union can't help you when you are being disciplined. Now, here's the thing. For decades, L&I didn't have a policy on incident resolution for interpreters. The IRP was invented by the WFC union for DSHS interpreters years ago. Everybody knows this. L&I only implemented this at the request of the WFC union for L&I interpreters. But WFC leaders want you to believe the idea came from L&I to wash their hands of any responsibility. You see, you're paying union dues to WFC, but they won't even defend you from providers blocking you unfairly and without any proof. They treat you as peasants who keep enriching their pockets with your money, but you're not even worthy of any help. And even though we know the WFC staff manipulates the local 1671 leaders, as Quan Tran revealed years ago, here are the interpreters from their bargaining team who allowed L&I to require SOC to unfairly block interpreters. Interestingly, I have received multiple reports indicating that some of the interpreters on this list that you see here have monopolies on appointments at different clinics. I have also received reports indicating that some interpreters on the current Local 1671 Executive Board have their own appointment monopolies. It looks like some of these interpreters have the fastest fingers to accept appointments, I guess, since they get the longest appointments at specific locations according to recent reports. Now, there will be a new company soon. L&I already had a pre-bid conference on May 4th, and I attended as an observer. I'll talk about some of the positive changes I saw from Cristy Miller and L&I in another video. They released a sample contract for the company that will win the bid, as you see here, with some of the same concerns we have to watch out for. You have to pay attention to this. As you can see here on this sample contract for the new company, L&I is requiring the system once again, quote unquote, to block LAPs from receiving requests at a specific location where the requester has asked that they do not return. Just like in the contract with SOC, this doesn't say providers have to provide evidence of any wrongdoing by interpreters. It also affirms that the contractor must implement the same L&I's incident resolution process. No indications here that this will be amended. And the contract also stipulates that a provider can simply request that the new company not allow LAPs to accept appointments at their location with no mention of a block needed, meaning interpreters in this category won't even receive appointments from a location all of a sudden, which is already happening under SOC. So don't count on the WFC union to require L&I to amend its contract with the prospective new company. Contact Cristy Miller yourself. She is the Interpretation Services Manager at L&I, and she's also managing the bidding process to select a new company. Email her your concerns about the new contract's blocking stipulations. And of course, when it comes to the WFC union, here is what you could do. Whether you are a DSHS or an L&I interpreter, you do have the right to opt out of the WFC union and stop paying union dues. We must get rid of this horrible union. So go to optouttoday.com/WFC1671 to do so and keep your hard-earned money. See you in the next one.